You wear a spotless uniform. You shine shoes, make beds, serve meals. You work 20 hours a day for 5 days straight. Your passengers call you George. That's not your name, but you answer anyway. This is life as a Pullman Porter, 1925, and you're the most invisible man in America. Your name is William. You're 35 years old. You've been a Pullman Porter for 8 years. It's 6 a.m. You're at Union Station in Chicago, preparing the sleeping car for the Santa Fe Chifa luxury train from Chicago to Los Angeles. You've already been here for 2 hours, inspecting every berth, making sure every sheet is crisp, every pillow, every brass fitting polished until it shines. You check yourself in the mirror. Your uniform must be perfect. Navy blue jacket, perfectly pressed, white shirt, spotless black bow tie. Straight shoes shined to a mirror finish cap at the correct angle, one wrinkle, one spot, one button, out of place and the conductor will dock your pay. Your job is to be invisible, but your uniform must be immaculate. You're one of 20 Pullman Porters on this train. All of you are black men. This is the rule. George Pullman hired only black men as porters when he started the company 60 years ago. He wanted servants. Men who would be men who white passengers could feel superior to, but he also created jobs. Good jobs, by black standards. A Pullman Porter makes $27.50 a month. That's barely enough to survive. Buckwheat tips. If you're good, if you're lucky, if the passengers are generous, you can make $50, maybe $80 a month. That's enough to own a house, send your kids to school, build a life. So you put on the uniform, you smile. You say, yes, sir, 2 men half your age, because your family needs you, too. At 8 a.m., the passengers begin boarding. First class, sleeper car, wealthy white travelers, businessmen, families going to California. You stand at attention as they enter. Smile, take their luggage, show them to their compartments. Thank you, George. One man says, without looking at you, your name isn't George. It's William, but all Pullman Porters are called George, named after George Pullman, the company founder. Like you're not even individuals, just extensions of the company. You don't correct him. You. Who's? Nod. You're welcome, sir. As the train pulls out of Chicago, you begin your work. There are 16 sleeping compartments in your car. 32 passengers. For the next 5 days, you are responsible for all of them. You make beds. 20-minute process per berth. Pull down the upper bunk, convert the seats into the lower bunk, make them with fresh linens, perfect hospital corners. You shine shoes. Every passenger leaves their shoes outside their compartment at night. You collect them, polish them, return them before they wake. You serve meals. Bring food from the dining car, set up folding tables, serve with white gloves. You fetch whatever they need: newspapers, drinks, extra pillows, aspirin. You clean constantly. Dust, polish brass, empty ashtrays, sweep floors, and you smile. Always smile. Even when they don't say thank you, even when they call you boy, even when they snap their fingers at you like you're a dog. The days blur together. You work from 6 a.m. until 2 a.m. the next morning. 20 hours. You get 4 hours to sleep in a tiny compartment, barely bigger than a coffin. Then you wake up and do it again. A businessman in compartment for rings for service. You knock. Enter. He's in his undershirt, reading a newspaper. George, I need my shoes shined. And bring him a whiskey. Yes, sir. You take his shoes, go to your tiny workspace, shine them until you can see your reflection. Bring them back with the whiskey. He doesn't look up, doesn't say thank you. You stand there for a moment, waiting. He waves you away. That's all. No tip. You leave. Close the door quietly. In the hallway, you take a breath. Let it out slowly. This is the job. A woman in compartment 7 is kinder. Excuse me, she says when you bring her breakfast. Not George. Not boy. Just excuse me. Yes, ma'am. Could I trouble you for an extra blanket? It's quite cold. Of course, ma'am. Right away. You bring her the blanket. She'll thanks you. Hands you a quarter for bringing a blanket. It's the best tip you've gotten all trip. You thank her. Mean it. Late on day 2, your shining shoes in your workspace. Another Porter Gems works the car ahead of your stops by. How's your car? He asks. Could be worse, you say? Got one decent tipper. Rest a treatin' me like furniture. He nods. Sim. Had a man today call me boy 3 times in one sentence. I'm 42 years old. You both laugh. Quietly. Bitterly. You going to the meeting when we get back? He asks. He means the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters meeting. Hey, Philip Randolph is trying to organize a union. Fight for better wages. Better hours. Respect. It's dangerous. The Pullman Company fires anyone suspected of union activity, but something has to change. Maybe, you say, I'll think about it on day 4. A young white man, maybe 25, drunk gets aggressive. He's been drinking in the lounge car, stumbles back to his compartment. Sees you in the hallway. Hey, George, come here. You approach? Yes, sir. You know what I think? He's swaying. I think you people have it pretty good. Nice uniform. Traveling around? Getting tips? Must be nice. You keep your face neutral. Yes, sir. My grandfather owned slaves, you know. Before the war, he said they were happy. Well-fed, taken care of. Maybe things were better back then, huh? Every muscle in your body tenses. You want to tell him what you really think? You want to tell him about the 20-hour days? The $27.50 a month? The constant humiliation? The way you recalled George and boy by men, young enough to be your son? You want to tell him his grandfather was lying or delusional? That slavery was hell. That freedom even. This limited, constrained, exhausting freedom is better. But you don't. Because if you do, you'll be fired. And your family needs this job. So, you, Ismail. I'm very fortunate, sir. Is there anything else you need? He waves you away. Stumbles into his compartment. You walk to the end of the car. Stand in the vestibule between cars. The wind is rushing past. The train is rocking. You grip the railing. Close your eyes. Breathe. This is the job. This is the price. On day 5, you arrive back in Chicago. The passengers disembark. Most don't tip. A few leave a dime. One man, the drunk from day 4, leaves nothing. The kind woman from compartment 7 leaves $1. An entire $1. You thank her. She smiles. You were wonderful. Thank you for everything. It almost makes up for the rest. You count your tips. $14.7345 days of work. With your base wage, that's about $42 for the month. If every run is this good, it's enough. Barely, but enough. You change out of your uniform, walk home through Chicago's South Side. Your wife, Ruth, is waiting. Your children, William Jr., 8, and Sarah, 5, to hug you. Daddy, you're home. You're old tem tight. This is why you do it. Ruth asks, how was the trip? Fine, you say, same as always. You don't tell her about the drunk man, about being called George and boy for 5 days straight, about the 4 hours of sleep per night. She knows, anyway. She sees it in your face. That night, after the children are asleep, you sit at the kitchen table. Ruth sits across from you. James told me about the union meeting, she says. You nod. I'm thinking about going. It's dangerous, she says. They'll fire you. I know. But something has to change, she says. I know. You sit in silence for a moment. Then she reaches across the table. Takes your hand. Whatever you decide, she says, "I'm with you." This was life as a Pullman Porter in 1925. 20-hour days, constant racism, poverty wages, tips that determined if your family ate. But it was also one of the best jobs available to black men in America. Pullman Porters were respected in black communities. They traveled, they wore uniforms. They earned enough to own homes and send their children to college. And they organized. In 1925, Philip Randolph founded the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, first major black labor union. It took 12 years of fighting, but in 1937 they won recognition from the Pullman Company. Better wages, better hours. Respect you. William joined the union in 1926. You were part of the fight in 1937. When the contract was signed, you cried. Not because the job became easy. It was still hard. You were still called George sometimes, but you had won something. Dignity. Recognition. A union card that said, you mattered. You worked as a Pullman Porter until 1955, when you retired at 6. Your son, William Jr., became a doctor. Your daughter, Sarah, became a teacher. They never had to say yes, sir, to someone who called them boy. And that was everything. Old America Diaries. Real life. Real history. One state at a time.